could not be with you this morning. I love San Antonio. I grew up in South Texas, and it's one of my favorite places. Unfortunately, I am here in sunny Greenwood, South Carolina, while I am doing a little social distancing period. This morning, I would like to talk to you about improving student soft skills through internships. I wish I could be here to see all of you, but this will have to do. I am a professor at Lander University in Greenwood, South Carolina. My name is Gail Moore. I'm the Internship Coordinator in our College of Business. I have been overseeing internships for the last 5 years. It's one of the favorite things that I get to do. Many of our students are first-generation college students, and because of this, internships are very, very important. It helps them gain not only the technical experience that they need, but also the soft skills, those things that employers are really looking for. So today I'm going to talk to you about improving student soft skills through internships. So here's some information about internships, some numbers that you can look at. According to the National Association of Colleges and Employers, we call it NACE, more than 56% of graduating seniors reported taking part in at least one internship. This is not just something that Lander's doing, it's something that colleges across the country are doing because we all know how important they are. Just like it said, some of my internships are paid, some of my internships are unpaid. Of course, students always want the paid internships, but I always tell my students, that is between you and your preceptor, that's what we call it, your boss, your organizer. It doesn't matter to me whether or not it's paid. I am much more interested in the experience that they are gaining. Now, all of my internships that we oversee are credit bearing. Students can earn 1 to 6 credit hours a semester on internships. We actually do not have a true co-op program at Lander, but that's something we're trying to move toward because we have some now more co-op type internships with local manufacturing companies, and they want students to work 40 hours a week, so that's something we need to do where we can increase that credit hour count. But internships, as we all know, are something that students can benefit from. Now, what do internships do? Well, let's look at soft skills. We all know that you can learn the technical skills while they're out there, but let's talk about the soft skills. If you see the top 4 soft skills that employers are looking for: leadership, communication, collaboration, and time management. Now, we don't have a class in leadership. We do have some communication that we offer. And of course, collaboration, we all have great projects. And time management, that's something that we teach some and students have to learn. But a great place to learn these skills are internships. So in a LinkedIn skills report, 57% of people rated soft skills as being more important than technical skills. Particularly for Lander, again, we have a lot of first-generation college students. They don't even often know what happens at work. So learning soft skills, not just like leadership, communication, collaboration, and time management, but also things like what to wear, what you can eat in the break room, and what you can't, talking to your coworkers, when it's important not to talk, but actually sit at your desk and get your work done. These are all things that students can learn through internships. And so what do? They provide that hands-on experience to allow students to observe. That's such an important thing, that students can learn these soft skills just by observing the people around them and learn the needed technical and soft skills. So let's look. What do students learn? What are some things that they can learn? The inner workings of a professional workplace. I have students that work in everything from local accounting firms to large manufacturing firms to hospital settings to local nonprofits. Of course, the inner workings of those are technically very different, but if you look at the big picture, it's very similar as far as reporting to management, getting your work done in a timely manner, being a good team player, communicating effectively, and all of those skills are things that we can learn in internships. Now, when we talk about here where it says sometimes the best things a student can learn from an internship is how to interact with colleagues in a professional setting. That's one of the biggest feedbacks that I get from my students. They are very often very reticent to even talk to anybody when they begin these internships because they're just a little bit nervous and they don't know exactly what to say. And, you can't be a very good team player if you don't ever even speak to anybody. And that's just even asking questions. Simple questions like, when do you need this done? By Tuesday? Or more difficult questions like, I don't know how to do this project that you're discussing. I don't know what you're talking about. No one likes to admit that they don't understand. And so all of those interactions are great soft skills that students can learn in these internships. Now, and what are other things that they can work on? Silent cues, like what to wear. I used to tell students when they were interviewing for internships to wear church clothes, but that has changed dramatically over the last few years. So now we have to talk about things to wear in different settings, how to ask a question in a meeting. Students are very often, they kind of come in two different ways. One, they don't want to talk at all, or two, they want to give their opinion a lot. Now, I'm very interested in their opinion in the classroom, but sometimes their bosses are not very interested in their opinion in the boardroom. And you need to sort of be able to understand that and know when to ask a question and when to give input and when it's time to simply be silent and listen. And conflict resolution. A couple of years ago, a student came to me. She was interning at a local nonprofit, and she had two bosses that did not agree on a certain topic. Each one wanted to handle it a different way, and she was in a meeting where they were just, resolving this conflict. And she said to me, which was very interesting in one of her reports, that it was very interesting to her that they were able to work out that conflict and come to a resolution without yelling, because that was the first time she had seen people work through a problem and come to a resolution without yelling at each other. That was very interesting to me. But conflict resolution, as we all know, happens all the time in the office. Very often people have differing views on things, and you don't just get to yell at each other and hit each other. You have to come to a professional resolution. And so those are things that are good for our students to see. And that ever important question, can I eat the food in the break room? I have had students, and college students are very hungry, that go in and eat all the food in the break room. So we have to have discussions about what's appropriate to eat, what's not appropriate to eat. You think those things are things that you would just know, but you have to learn it somewhere, and the internship is a good place to do that. Now, how do students learn these skills? We know they're important. How do they learn them? I mean, technical skills in their chosen field, well, I'm an accounting professor by trade, and so, I know when I send those students out in tax season, they're going to learn all sorts of tax preparation software. They're going to learn the proper review methods. They're going to maybe get some technical skills or some technical certifications. I know that's going to happen. But what about those soft skills? How do they learn those? Well, as internship coordinator, that's my job to make sure those students learn not only their technical skills, but also these soft skills. So I have some class requirements that force that interaction between students and coworkers, between students and their bosses. So here's some things that we do. We require students to interview their coworkers on ethical issues that they've faced, as well as current job skills. One of the things that the students have to do for me is they have to prepare what we call an ethics emphasis, but it's really sort of an interview paper based on ethical issues that they have to go around and discuss with their coworkers and their preceptor, their boss. Now, that's a difficult thing to ask questions like, have you ever been faced with an ethical situation? What choice did you make? So those are good things to help them learn not only interview skills, but also learn those ethical skills that are so important, how to make the right decision. Also, our interns are evaluated at the midpoint and end of their internship. They're evaluated at a formal setting with their preceptor on both technical and soft skills. It's a form that we fill out. We don't want to make it too burdensome on our preceptors, their bosses, so we give them a form to fill out. But that interview setting is so important for our internships. And then we have them do a project preparation and presentation. In all of their internships, we ask that their bosses give them a special project to do that they have to be focused on, that creates time management skills, that gives these project skills, and presentation skills. We require that they present these presentations to their bosses, a group of 5 or 6 bosses and coworkers. And that can be very scary for students, but it's so good for them to learn those skills. It's such an important skill to learn. And then they have to do a final presentation for me that they do with me in front of a group of interns. So it's, maybe 10 people in the room, again, working on their presentation skills. And there's some very specific content that they have to put in there. All of these skills are graded. So we don't want our students just to, kind of give a half effort. Our internship classes are all graded because they're all for academic credit. And all of these things that we require are graded, and they work together to form the student's grade in their class. And so that helps the students to want to do well and work very hard on these projects. And so then we help them require these skills, things like these project preparation and their final presentation. Both of those presentations, the students have to wear professional dress. That's one of the things that they're graded on. Students have to show certain things that they've met, certain benchmarks that they've met. That's one of the things that they're graded on. And their grade is also, of course, on their presentation skills. So those are all things that we can do to help them learn these soft skills. So here's just a quick top 10 list according to livecareers.com on why to do an internship. And you can look at this list, but of course some big ones are to gain experience, to get that entry-level hiring, but some good ones at the bottom: to gain self-confidence, build a student network, build work habits. Those are all great things too. And of course, number 6, develop hard skills and soft skills. So here's some internship information. I am always interested in any input, comments, or insight on how internships are treated at other schools. Here's my information there. My email is gmoore@lander.edu. I'm at Lander University in Greenwood, South Carolina. So please let me know if you have any questions or comments. I would certainly love to hear them. And I'm sorry that I can't be there in person today, but I do appreciate you listening. Thank you so much.